shortly. I did want to connect with everybody. We had the pipeline call today, and it was announced that we did crest the 15K barrier. So congratulations. Every single GM on the call applauded us, and Bob was just over the moon. We are the first division that did that, and that is a huge, huge fucking deal. The fact that we grew from 10K to 15K in the quarter is recognized, and it's awesome. So I wanted to obviously congratulate you guys on that. Bob was like, good job on that. And I was like, it's not me, it's the team. The team put in all the hard work. They are covering stuff that we never thought we could cover. We have every single person on this team that's cranking on stuff, bringing in new business. Every single person mattered to hit 15K. Like, if we didn't have one of us there, we wouldn't have done it. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, every single person contributed and cranked towards it. So kudos to you guys. That was awesome. It's hugely recognized. Not the reason I called this meeting, though. And thank you for popping on real quick. I wanted to connect with you about something that Bob said during the meeting. He made the analogy of the marketplace right now and where we're at and whitewater rafting. And this is going to sound kind of weird, might be a little bit of a stretch, but Bob is a big analogy guy. I am as well, also a quote guy, but we'll dive into some of that stuff later. But Bob made the analogy of whitewater rafting, and has anybody been whitewater rafting here? Let me put it that way. Yeah. So, all right. Some people have, some people haven't. Basically, there's two people that are whitewater rafting when you're on the boat with them. There's the folks that are like literally helmet on, vest on, paddle in hand. They're looking at everything. They're waiting for like the rapids that are around the next turn. They're waiting for the rock that's underneath the boat that's going to launch them off. They're waiting for everything. They're 100% prepared. They're leaning in, paddling as fast as they can, and they're just fucking cruising down the river. And then there's the other end of the spectrum where it's like the person that's like got the paddle across their lap. They're looking at like the cliffs, you know, they're just, you know, taking photos with their selfies with their phone, and they're still going down the river, but they're not going as fast if they're in a separate boat as the person that's just like absolutely crushing it. So we have the ability right now. We're all going down the river. Every single division is rising in GP, is doing great things. We have the ability to just lean in and absolutely crush it over these next few weeks here. While he was talking about that, a quote popped into my head from Floyd Landis. Does anybody know who that is?
From what? I couldn't understand you.
Floyd Landis. He was a professional cyclist, and he was, I don't know, he's like a Tour de France type guy, trained at that like super high level. I think he got caught up in the doping scandals of like early 2000s, but that's kind of besides the point. He said during his training, you can always do one more. And that struck me, and like that stayed with me for years, for 20 years now. Like this guy said that back in the early 2000s, and it stuck with me because like whether you're in business or you're doing physically, you can always do one more. Like when your mind wants to give up and when your body's tired, you can always do one more. And I think about this a lot. Like with recruiting, you can always make that one more phone call, one more email, one more text message, one more carrier pigeon, one more business development activity, like one more whatever. Add one more candidate to the database, because like that next phone call can always be your next $1 million client, could be your next perm fill, could be your next $1,000 biller a week that comes through. Growing up, I ran cross country and track, and I had a sadistic coach my senior year that would take us and have us do repeats on the track. And before Shelly's eyes gloss over, I'll wrap this up. But there was this one practice that I did that I remember he brought us out there and he's like, we're going to run repeats. And his kids were asking all these questions like, how many are we doing? How fast do we have to do them? And he's like, you just have to do it at 90% of your max. Go. You're going to do a lap, then you get 30 seconds, do a lap, 30 seconds, do a lap, 30 seconds, rest, lap, 30 seconds, rest. And that was it. And he never told us how many we were doing, which at that point was an absolute mind fuck, because after 4 or 5, I'm feeling absolutely smoked. And I was like, how many more of these are we doing? He's like, 90%, go, go, go. And it wasn't about like the physicalness at that point. It was creating mental toughness of like, you can always do one more, even when your body's ready to give up. When you're ready to like just throw in the towel, you can always do one more. So I implore each of you, try to do one more sub, one more interview request, one more candidate ad, one more phone call, one more text message, one more of anything. Because if you do one more sub, and for stupid math, say we're doing 10 subs a week, one more subs, 10%, you're coming out 10% faster than that boat that's not leaning in down the river. And if we keep on going 10% week over week over week, we have the ability to catch up to the DMSs, to the ITs, to Marlboro Manufacturing, to these like massive divisions that are putting up huge, huge numbers. We have all the business here to be able to do it. So I implore you, try to do one more. Always do one more, even when you think you're done for the week. If you're smoked, if you're like, I don't want to talk to anybody else, pick up the phone and try one more call. That's all I ask. So that's it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So
Nice.
that's it. That's pretty much